I really don't deserve so much of glorification because I haven't achieved anything. I haven't served Guru Maharaj so much. As the topic says, how to express gratitude to Srila Prabhupada and appreciate. I just took this service. Though I'm not qualified and I don't deserve anything, I'm just humbly trying to follow whatever I've heard from my Guru Maharaj. Just as a service and as a gratitude, I've taken up this service. If at all Guru and Krishna are pleased, so by my words speaking, may any of you be inspired, and so you can inspire many others more. So thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai, Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai, and all the assembled Vaishnavis ki jai. Please, I may be younger than you or older than you. Please bless me that I do my service nicely for the pleasure of Sri Guru and Gauranga. So we'll we'll start. I'll share my screen with my PowerPoint presentation.
Mataji, Hare Krishna, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
The video is not very clear. It's not focused.
Okay. Is this okay? Mataji, is this okay? How can we show our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada? So, we'll just start with the meaning of the word gratitude. So as you see on the screen, gratitude is the best attitude. Gratitude means thanks and appreciation. Gratitude, which rhymes with attitude, is from the Latin word gratis, which means thankful, pleasing. When you feel, one second. Yeah, when you feel gratitude, you're pleased by what someone did for you and also pleased by the results. Unlike indebtedness, you are not anxious about having to pay it back. So we should be so grateful as Indians. Definitely we are brought up very nicely by our parents and by the culture and by the society, that we are always grateful to anybody and for everything that we come across in our life. So that way, when we look back at our lives, at how it was before we came to our Krishna consciousness, this ISKCON movement, and after coming, what is the great differences and changes that we are seeing in ourselves as a person and as a personality. So when we look back and think what all we have got in our lives from our birth and up to till today and up to this moment, what all we have got. So, and if you see, I'm sure many of you would accept and acknowledge that it was Srila Prabhupada's mercy that has transformed our lives so much for the best in our lives. Of course, we have got so many things as a gift from our parents, our siblings, our friends, our relatives. Of course, the best should be from our parents because they have given us birth, they have raised us up to whatever we are. After that, the best gift that has really transformed us for so many lifetimes to this is, I'm sure it's Srila Prabhupada's gift to us. So, as a gratitude for Srila Prabhupada, we have to do so many things. So we'll go step by step what all we can do for him. So from now, we will just see few of the quotes, how our gratefulness is an Vaishnava quality. It's not just a material quality of giving thanks to any fellow being or anyone in our lives. How it is an spiritual quality which will take us closer and closer to Lord Krishna. So few of the quotes I have shared on my screen, if you can read. from His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj and few others. I haven't named them. So I'll just read. First one, Radhanath Swami Maharaj says, gratitude doesn't mean simply saying thank you. Real gratitude means reciprocation. If we are actually grateful to someone, we will reciprocate even if it means great sacrifice. So, see, the thing is, if I'm just going to say thanks to just an example, I want see in a Bhakti Vriksha system in which I am trained by by His Holiness Jayapatika Swami Maharaj and my many mentors, we are being told that we should not talk. We should make others talk. Okay. So, but I'm forced to talk now, though even if you were all were in front of me, I'm sure I'd have made all of you talk. But because it's a Zoom class, I'm forced to talk everything myself without any reciprocation from you all. So, and as a thanksgiving, like for example, I'm just taking my life example, like Malini Mataji just gave me this service. Uh, I mean, if I'm her friend and if she has done so much for me, I can just say thanks instead of just being only thankful to her. Whenever I come to Bangalore, I can come to meet her. I can serve her in whatever ways possible. So that is the real way of keeping our friendship and gratefulness with each other, association with each other, instead of just being so formal and being really thankful. So instead of just being thankful, we should develop practically how we can serve each other with love. So then next we go to the next point. Krishna will take our devotional service seriously when he sees we have gratitude to the great souls who have given their lives to help us. So uh, we should, when we are serious in our Krishna consciousness and when we want to progress further and achieve the state of pure devotional service, there is only one way that we can do. That is by only pleasing Guru and Gauranga. Only when you please Guru, then Gauranga Mahaprabhu is pleased. Otherwise, there is no chance. So, how can you please your Guru? Of course, we are the second generation of the ISKCON movement after Srila Prabhupada. So, when we serve our Gurus, in the footsteps followed by them to Srila Prabhupada, then Krishna will be pleased with us. So there is one next point, there is one quality that makes the mercy of Guru, and this is the only quality. I mean, this is one quality that makes the mercy of Guru and Krishna accessible. That is feeling grateful. That is the very important quality that we have to develop as Vaishnavis. I'm sure as Matajis, we definitely have, but if we can develop it furthermore for the benefit of the society. Which my internal saying is, the next PowerPoint presentation says, feeling great gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. Malini Mataji. Malini Mataji, can you hear me?
Yes, Mataji, but there's a lot of disturbance.
Then it's like we are so thankful. We have made the gift ready. We have wrapped it, but we haven't. We haven't given it to him as our gift of love. So we will just see how we can appreciate from the lessons that we have learned in this pandemic, that There's something wrong with the internet. Okay. I've learned a lot of lessons from this pandemic. How do you feel without the association of personally serving Vaishnavas and associating with them? And we are also learning lots of lessons from what's happening. I've learned philosophy that life is short. We didn't know it is impermanent, it is temporary. We have heard about all this, but when we are seeing we are learning how without association of devotees it's very difficult for us to even live, right? So we will just see how few of the points how we can follow Srila Prabhupada. If you love your guru and if you want to express gratitude, how you can do it. So to follow Srila Prabhupada's instructions. First point, affection for the spiritual master and following the instructions of the spiritual master is the same. So if you just say that I love my guru, I love Srila Prabhupada, what you're going to do about it? You're going to do something about, right? So we are practicing devotional service. That means that we don't say simply that I love you, I like you. No, but we are going to do something to please you, whomever we are going to love. So the same way, if you are going to say you love your spiritual master, you like him, you admire him, then but you have to do something for him. How you can do something for him? By following his instructions. The second point is I have no particular instruction save and except the instructions which I have also heard from my spiritual master. So we should understand that these instructions are not personally given by our gurus for their sense gratification or for their personal motivation, for their personal motive intentions. Rather, these are all what they have been getting instructions from their previous gurus and which they have been following. Same thing that they are instructing every one of us to follow. And then the third point, and to become Acharya is not very difficult. First of all, to become very faithful servant of your Acharya, follow strictly what he says. Try to please him and spread Krishna consciousness. That's all. It is not at all difficult. So these are the words personally spoken by Srila Prabhupada. So his instructions are that every one of us become an Acharya. How? By faithfully following our Guru Maharaj, becoming his servant and following his instructions strictly, then we please him by uh, giving this message to others. So it is very simple. We are going to just pass on what we have learned, what we have heard. That is what we are going to simply do. So it's very simple uh, to practice the instructions of the spiritual master, to appreciate him, to pass on our gratitude to him, and to show our affection and love for him. So how? It is very simple. The practice is just a simple living and a high thinking is what is very important. We don't need anything very complicated and anything fancy. So, and understand this special and precious moment which has been given by the Lord Shri Krishna himself in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he said in his instructions, these four. The first one is Bhajo Krishna, chant Krishna's name. Second is Bolo Krishna, worship him, glorify him. Then Koro Krishna Shiksha, speak about this to other fellow beings. And the fourth one is Jeever Doya. You should have compassion for every living entity in our lives. See, when we are having all these, when we have compassion, I'm sure we would be able to do the rest, all the other threes that is behind them. So, simple living and high thinking, we will see how Prabhupada has taught us in this movement. First, he has given so many several instructions for us to follow. But in this 1 hour time, I couldn't speak so much about so many of his instructions. So I just picked up these four so that we can practically apply this in our lives. The first one is books are the basis, purity is the fourth, the second one, preaching is the essence, the third one, and utility is the principle. So I've just taken these four instructions which were given by Srila Prabhupada. When you just expand them, they give a wide literal meaning, and so many thousands of services included in these four instructions. The first one, we go to books are the basis. So I'll just read a few of the points that I have gathered, what Srila Prabhupada personally told about the books. You may please me the most by reading my books and following the instruction therein, and by becoming fully Krishna conscious in this lifetime. So Srila Prabhupada has written several books. He has written the full set of Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Krishna book, the Bhagavad Gita, and many small books, Ishopanishad, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, to just name a few. He has written so many books, and the time he has put and effort he has put is simply unimaginable. Prabhupada used to just sleep very few hours at night, and by 2 o'clock he would wake up and then sit and start translating the books from Bengali, taking references from various other scriptures and from various acharyas, and he has compiled these books. For whom? It's only for us to read and to understand, so that our faith in the moment, in Krishna consciousness, our devotion and our bhakti to Lord Krishna increases every moment and every day. So reading is a very, very important aspect of our Krishna consciousness, and a very, very essential instruction given by Srila Prabhupada. So as a gratitude, Srila Prabhupada, we should read all of his books. So actually one of Srila Prabhupada's disciple, Prithu Maharaj, had come to our house. We were fortunate to serve him. So how he was telling that, to share a personal experience, I'm sharing with you that the few of the Prabhupada's disciples, even today, they read 2-3 hours of Prabhupada's books every day. They read 3 hours. So how Maharaj was telling that in the beginning it would just feel like you're just reading what is written by Srila Prabhupada, and as you go on and on, you just really feel like as though Srila Prabhupada is talking to you, instructing to you, and giving you this message. I'm sure many of you who have the habit of reading would have really realized that once you're reading Prabhupada's books, and especially the purports, you feel that Prabhupada is with you. He is talking to you and he is instructing to you. There's nothing that he has not instructed. Everything is there in his books. So I humbly request all of you, those who are reading and who are not reading, please nurture this habit of reading. Of course, there is a big challenge as all of you Vaishnavis must be very busy with your household, but still you can make a time in your day. You can groups. 2-3 people can form groups, and now you have the can form a group and every day read for half an hour or 1 hour. It would enrich your Krishna consciousness. Um, like that, even we are having a group, we are reading every day 1 hour. We Mataji's 4-5 of us are there. We were many in the group. Then we started reading, then we read whole of Bhagavatam once, then second time we are reading, we read Krishna's books. So many books we have read, and it has really helped, and everybody is thankful. So I simply request all of you that please uh, read Srila Prabhupada's books, and at least one purport you have to read every day, the least. It is the least that I am requesting you all to read. So the second point is Srila Prabhupada's books are translated into 98 or more languages around the world. So, and it is easily available in the net in the form of Veda base. All the books are there. And then you can have Prabhupada's Vani in vaniorg.com, where Prabhupada's lectures are there, his personal conversations are there, his, what to say, um, his books, conversations, his meetings, his daily walking conversations, everything is there. So please take advantage, and you can express your gratitude Srila Prabhupada by reading his books. So Srila Prabhupada, yes, it's all in the literatures. We are explaining them in English, but we are not manufacturing anything. Only simply one has to read one of our books and he receives real spiritual knowledge. So that's why Srila Prabhupada named his Bhagavad Gita as it is. So he has not manufactured anything. He has not given anything that has not been told by our previous acharyas and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we'll go to the next point. Purity is the force. So I'm sure you can see in the picture that I have shared. In this picture, Prabhupada has personally written all the regulative principles that one has to follow, and how one can be pure, how he can be pure in his heart, externally, internally, and to be and to please Guru and Krishna. So we'll just go to the points. I'll just read from his letter. All initiated devotees must attend morning and evening classes. Must not be addicted to any kind of intoxication, including coffee, tea, and cigarette. They are forbidden to have illicit sex, um, and must be strictly vegetarians. Should not extensively mix with non-devotees, should not eat foodstuffs cooked by non-devotees, should not waste time in idle talk, nor engage himself in frivolous sports, should always chant and sing the Lord's holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This he has written, thank you, in New York on 25th November 1966. So, this is what Srila Prabhupada wants us, all of us to do. Nothing more, nothing less. That we chant our 16 rounds, the prescribed 16 rounds, with lot of attention and devotion, and then follow our four regulative principles. The four regulative principles are no intoxication, no gambling, no meat eating, and no illicit sex. And so, of course, those who are initiated in this parampara system must be following these regulative principles, and those who are still aspiring or under shelter, should also take it very seriously, because Srila Prabhupada has said that until and unless one gets initiated, he acts as the guru for that person to encourage them in their Krishna consciousness. So that is why when we are going in our bhakti steps, there is a step called the Srila Prabhupada Ashraya. So that is when we are taking a thing of Srila Prabhupada shelter. That time we are practicing following the four regulatory principles and chanting 16 rounds. So even if you are chanting 1 round, 2 round, 3 round, whatever it is, I'm sure it is Srila Prabhupada who is giving his blessings and mercy and encouraging us to come to the platform of chanting 16 rounds. In fact, it was mandatory that devotees were to supposed to chant 64 rounds. Then Prabhupada said, in nowadays, I'll just reduce it to 32. Then the devotee said, no, no, Prabhupada, 32 also is too much. Then he said 16, that's all. I'm not reducing anything, one even more than that. So he has prescribed the minimum, bare minimum number of rounds that we have to chant every day is 16 rounds. So please, I'm sure it's a big challenge as Vaishnavis to take care of the household and so many services. Please make chanting as your priority in your life. Please chant. The first thing that you have to do every day is dedicate your time and your everything for Krishna by chanting your rounds in the early morning of the day. Please put a practice to chant your 16 rounds in the Brahma Muhurta, which is very ideal. At the time, nobody will disturb you, and it is only you and Krishna. There is nobody to disturb you. So you are developing your relationship with Krishna, and you can shower your love on Krishna, and Krishna is waiting to accept your love. So when we chant our rounds very sincerely, I'm sure we will be very successful in pleasing our Guru also, and also in pleasing Srila Prabhupada said, I don't need so many devotees. I'm not worried about the quality or quantity of devotees. Why not? So your internet is Hare Krishna. So why not make Prabhupada happy by every one of us trying to endeavor to achieve pure devotional service, to become a pure devotee by following his instructions. We don't have to do anything more. We don't have to do anything less. It is just as simple following the four regulatory principles. So reading books every day, at least one purport of Srila Prabhupada to the least, and then chanting, then following regulatory principles. So the 3 points that we have covered for now. So we'll go to the next point. Preaching is the essence. So after practicing, after chanting, after reading, having got so much of knowledge, doesn't matter. The next service that we can do for Srila Prabhupada. Now, how you can preach if you don't have whatever your Vaishnava friends, association, all that you can gather, whatever you have practiced up to that, you can definitely preach to other people who are waiting. Yeah. We think that it's only me who is suffering, but everyone else in the world are suffering. And we just go to preach to few of them who really are not interested. But don't disappointed. See, so such people, if you're going to preach to 100, acting this way of life, yoga is the ultimate to practice. So never give up preaching. You can do small things like you can distribute books, enthusiastic, be enthusiastic to distribute books, giving this form of we talked about book distribution. So apart from book distribution, as the Vaishnavis, what we can do, we can preach to our own near and dear ones. We can ask them, we can share about our realization, our whatever we are experiencing, the joy of practicing this in our life. To our, then we can help children get this. What to say, how to nurture the learning the scriptures and to get love for Krishna from their tender age, how to understand the spiritual world, how to understand to live in this material world. So we can help the small children to grow. We can teach the youth, we can teach the Vaishnavis who are I mean, we can help new Matajis who are coming to learn. Then we can preach to ourselves. Actually, when we are preaching to others, it's like we are preaching to ourselves. It's not that we are telling others. So when you preach to others, naturally you also tend to learn and imbibe those things in your life, in your practices. So you can very easily give prasadam to fellow devotees, to non-devotees, whoever is there. So giving prasadam, honoring prasadam is a way of getting Sukriti and getting Krishna consciousness. So it's a very simple way of just preaching. You can give prasadam. And of course, in your temple in Uttarali, you get lots of goodies in that shop. You can buy and you can just distribute. Even if you are not able to make at home, you can just buy prasadam. You can distribute to many non-devotees. So by that way, they get attracted and they get the mercy of uh, Guru and Krishna. So distributing prasadam, giving them prasadam, talking to them about Krishna consciousness, making them your friends first. It's very, very important that you become friends. Uh, this is what we are being taught. We don't jump on somebody and start speaking philosophy and what Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, what Prabhupada said, what Guru Maharaj said, and what you are doing in your life. You don't have to share anything with any fellow new being. You have to just become their friends, give them lots of love, give them affection, uh, you know, keeping them in your bond. Then slowly, by your love and your affection, the sprout, the seed of bhakti will be sown in their heart and they'll be interested to take up Krishna consciousness. So that's how you can preach. Not only preaching to non-devotees, devotee care, devotee association is very important for all of us. You can have your own circle of devotees or one or two devotees with whom you interact every day. You just call up and say, how are you? What you are doing? How was your chanting? What did you read? Just share up. And if you have time, you can meet in weekends and have some personal association. So you should always make sure that you have someone above you to whom you are looking up to and getting guidance and association. And at the same time, you should have someone below you with whom you're going to share your love and care with. So very, very important and essential. It is also a part of our preaching um, instruction. It's not that you only preach to neophyte devotees and you bring them to consciousness. also to help devotees who are in Krishna consciousness to maintain their Krishna consciousness, you need association and preaching. Preaching goes simultaneously. You don't, association means it's preaching to each other. That's what Krishna says, that when two devotees join together, they only talk about him and experience transcendental pleasure by remembering the Lord. So there may be some shortcomings in some devotees. They may not be feeling well, or they may be feeling low mentally. They may be stressed because of so many material problems that we face in our daily lives. But when you give that person care and touch, I'm sure that devotee will be so thankful and so happy. And when someone else do to you, I'm sure it will be the same with you. So please to make it a point that distributing books, distributing prasadam, then talking to people about Krishna consciousness, and more fellow Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, and taking also from the act of giving our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada. So we'll go to the last point, utilities that we should try to use. It's so unstable. So the last point is the Prabhupada means we should try to use whatever is in our means to serve Krishna. We should be useful and practical rather than theoretical. So if you're good at singing, you can learn singing, you can play instruments, then you can help your other Vaishnavis to sing, because most of our bhajans are in Bengali and it's a little difficult for us South Indians to understand and to sing them. So you can help everyone others to learn the wordings, and of course the rich meaning of how the acharyas have sung with so much of realizations on devotion and love to Lord Krishna. So then you can, if you are expert at cooking, I'm so happy that you have a weekly uh, cooking class. I'm sure it's on Friday if I'm not wrong. Somebody is teaching how to cook, so you can make varieties of boga for Lord Krishna and offer him. I was reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after coming from sannyasa, he wants to go to Vrindavan, but he's been cheated by the devotees and is taken to Advaita Acharya's house. So there, in just few hours, they're cooking. Sakshi Mata also is invited there to cook for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in just few minutes, a few hours, I'm sorry, they are cooking a big feast for Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that whoever is cooking and serving, that he will never forget them. He'll always remember them and uh, will uh, give his blessings to them always. That's what he says in that translation, if I'm not wrong. That's what he says. So then I was realizing that why devotees want to give Chappan Bhog to Lord Jagannath, and any occasions they are so happy to just jump and cook Chappan Bhog and serve the Lord. So if you give varieties of boga to Lord Krishna, he'll be so pleased, he'll be so happy. And of course, the Guru will be so happy, because Prabhupada has said that whatever is in your capacity, Krishna is very happy even to accept a leaf, water, flower, or a fruit. But if you can give him so much, when you cook and serve him, he'll be very much pleased. So you can cook for him, you can sing kirtans, then you can preach, you can learn. If you are a literate, you can learn lots of things. You can memorize shlokas, and you can give lots of class. You can inspire people by your talk. You can inspire people by your behavior, uh, then by your love, by your affection. Whatever you have qualities, please don't keep it with yourself. If you have any skill, please share it with anybody. Um, so the point is, whatever that ability that Krishna has given us, we have to use it in the service of Guru and Krishna. That is also one of the instructions that Srila Prabhupada is telling to us, that because everything that we are getting from Krishna only. We may be not an expert singer, but we'll be able to sing. We may not be an expert cook, but we'll be at least cooking something. So whatever that abilities that we have got, either the highest, lowest, or the moderate, doesn't matter. Without feeling inferiority or superiority, we can always engage our capabilities, our skills in the service of Guru and Krishna. So the last that I want to speak today is that the by we have we can share our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada by following these instructions in our personal capability. Whatever we can do personally, like we can read, we can chant, we can follow the regulatory principles, we can preach, and then this instruction that I have taken, so that what we can do collectively, cooperation in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. So what Srila Prabhupada says, that go on cooperating in this way, and I'm sure this mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be successful. It must be successful because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted it to be. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has started this Sankirtana movement, and whether we want to be a part of it or not, the movement is going to keep on going on, because there are so many other souls who want to do it for the Lord. But if we want to be a part of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela and his mission, and as a service to Srila Prabhupada, we also can be part of it. We can desire to serve Srila Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by cooperating with all the devotees, by following the instructions of Guru, by sharing our love and affection to every devotee, by appreciating, by glorifying everyone with a simple simplicity, with a very uh, pure heart, without anything behind, you know, then I'm sure Srila Prabhupada will be pleased. And somehow or other, we desire that Prabhupada, I should be an instrument. I have to serve you. Every day I have to do something to please you. You can either please him by your good chanting, by your good preaching, by your following the regulatory principles very sincerely. You can please him by following the utility as the principle, by giving your devotee affection, devotee care, you know, uh, anything. But every day you should make sure that every of your activity is an expression of gratitude to Srila Prabhupada. So actually, you know what happens when we are going back home, back to Godhead? If you are chosen, Krishna, you cannot go by yourself. So Krishna also doesn't know much about you. So he just calls your guru and asks, how about this devotee? And if your guru says, yes, this devotee is good, she did that, this for me, she's very sincere, then Krishna says, okay. So he is not going to even question anything. So when you're pleasing your guru, then Krishna is pleased. So our main uh, attitude is to show gratitude and express that every of our activity is an expression of love and affection for Srila Prabhupada and his disciples, or to whoever is our Guru. The second point is simply we, the workers, the servitors, must be very sincere. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will give us more and more facilities so that we can work very well. So keep this mission always in view and do your best. That is my only request. So when we are sincere in our heart, uh, the Guru and Krishna are always seeing us as a Guru inside and outside, and they'll be pleased and they will bless us. So on this point, I wanted to share something very uh, Hare Krishna. Can I show how you really desire, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj will fulfill our desires, you know. I have heard that phrase that uh, every town and village will resound with the holy name and of the holy name of Lord Krishna, and the holy name will be spread throughout the world, as said by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I would like to share my own personal experience. Once I had the opportunity to go to my native village with my mother. So then I said, I see, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I desire that I will be the first to start Sankirtan movement in my village, and I'm going to sing and glorify Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj here. So in our house, I just put a picture of Panchatattva. We did Gaura Arati, and then a few children came, and then I said, I'll teach you how to chant the holy name. I just taught them Hare Krishna mantra, Panchatattva mantra, and Hare Krishna mantra. We just stayed for 3-4 days over there when I came for my summer holidays. So that's all I did. But my really had a desire that in this village I'm going to be the first to preach Krishna consciousness, bring Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Can you believe, after so many years, to one of the child to whom I had taught Krishna consciousness became a youthful. She got married to a devotee, and she became an initiated devotee. And as I desired, one person from our village got Krishna consciousness. So it doesn't matter if the whole village becomes devotees or even 1 or 2 or 3, but should always have the desire to preach to whomever we meet Krishna consciousness. Become friends, sincerely desire in your heart. This is what I desire, that even the day I'm going to leave the body, I shouldn't have given up my regulatory principles. I should have finished chanting my 16 rounds. I should have done my Mangalarati. Should have read Bhagavatam, should have read Bhagavad Gita. So I shouldn't miss anything. And of course, I also desire that Prabhupada used to say that you have to take care of your health. If you don't take care of your health, then you won't be able to do anything Krishna conscious with this body. So he said that you have to go for a morning walk or evening walk. So you have to walk. So you have to take care of your health also. Health is wealth. So please take care of your health. Follow Prabhupada's instructions as the love and affection for him. And I'm sure Guru and Krishna will be pleased, and Srila Prabhupada will be pleased with all of us. And there won't be anybody in this world who is unhappy and miserable and suffering. Everyone will become happy. So please take it as a very serious thing in your heart. Be enthusiastic, be inspiring at all the time. Don't ever give up your enthusiasm. Doesn't matter, even if nobody hears you, doesn't accept you, doesn't matter. But don't give up your enthusiasm and keep preaching. There is somebody who's waiting to hear from you, who's waiting for this message of Srila Prabhupada. Not ours. We are not giving this message, which has been preciously given by our previous acharyas through Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Somebody is waiting to accept it and practice in their life. So I humbly request all of you, please take it seriously. I am not a pure person. I'm not well deserved to speak about this topic. But as a service and gratitude to Srila Prabhupada and my Guru Maharaj, I have spoken. I hope I didn't speak anything wrong. If I have, please forgive me. You can correct me. And I thank you all for hearing to me. I'm very sorry for the unstable internet connection. I don't know today of all it has happened. So we look back and see how if Prabhupada was not in our lives, if we had not got this message, how we would have been. We would have been so fallen. We would be just immersed in this worldly affairs of this material world. And what Prabhupada says, the difference is we should not die like cats and dogs. We don't want, right? We don't want to die like that. We want to um, really make use of the birth that we have got in this lifetime by taking up to Krishna consciousness, which is so valuable, precious gift. This is the precious gift that we have got from Srila Prabhupada, who was so mercifully at that old age giving up his practice in Vrindavan Dham, went all the way to the Western world and uh, spread this message through his disciples to India again. So thank you once again for giving me the opportunity. Malini Mataji, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai.